Hey, what's up there, YouTube? It's your boy Zigzag back once again for another episode. This episode is talking about servicing my 2009 Kawasaki ZX6R. Some guys, there are quite a few videos out about how to change the oil and lube it up and all that kind of stuff like that. I'm just gonna try to give you a quick rundown on how I do it from the beginning to the end, all the way to how I clean it. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to show you what items I use. Okay, first of all, I have stands to raise your bike up, securely. That gives you a lot of leverage to be able to get up under there and do whatever you need to do. Things that I use, I also have my oil pan up under here, right up under the oil drain plug. The items that I use are gloves, 11/16 socket. The oil that I use in mine is Mobil 1 Racing 4T full synthetic. I always use full synthetic oil on my bike. Now, you see 4 bottles sitting there, but I actually use 3 bottles. Most of the time it's 2.5 bottles. So this bottle right here is actually half full. So I'm still gonna have a half left. Alright. I also, for when I get ready to clean and grease my my chain, I keep plenty dirty old drop cloths and stuff like that, and I use the just Walmart DuPont motorcycle degreaser, old toothbrush, and liquid wrench. That's really, now there's a lot of people have different opinions on the liquid wrench, but I've been using it for over a year now, and I lube up my chain probably maybe 4 or 5 times a year. Mostly when I do a long ride, that's when I lube it up. I also have my filter wrench right here with 65 to 68 millimeter. I use Fram filter, the Pt1 Okay. And the first thing you want to do is crank it up and let the oil get warm. So we're going to do that. And that piece of cardboard right there, also, that comes in handy. I'll show you that later. Alright, well, let's go ahead and crank it up. Now, I already wrote down my mileage and everything in my book over there, my little orange book. I write down my mileage. If anything, I had to do extra to it or whatever, but my mileage right now is 19,380, and trust me, people, it still runs like it's brand new. So let's go ahead and get it cranked up, get this oil warmed up. Okay, I got the temperature up to 130, so that should be good and warm. All right, let's switch it back off. Now, first thing you want to do here, let me see if I can position the camera. Let me have to switch it. Let's see.
Call from Michael Haywood, brother.
Okay, let's see if I can get up under there. Your drain plug is right there. Okay, now you're going to take this 11/16 and drain your oil. Okay, I'm going to get right back with you when the drain starts coming. Okay, and there's the drain. Now, one thing you have to remember, that right up under there is your exhaust. Okay, that's going to be very hot. So this is the purpose of the gloves. And when you unscrew that drain plug, kind of push in on it all the way until you get it out. Okay, and it'll easily, come out. That drain plug is right here. Okay, I'm going to change that washer that's on it. And if you don't have one, just take that one and clean it really, really good before you put it back in there, because you don't want any debris or anything, I don't know, just getting clogged up or anything like that. So, we're going to do that. So that's step one. All right. And I'll get back with you in a second. One other thing you also want to do too is kind of loosen up your oil, the thing where you pour your oil in it. I'm sorry, I just had a brain fart. But anyway, make sure you loosen up your oil cap. That helps it drain a lot faster. I usually just let mine drain till nothing else is in there. But in the meantime, what I usually do is go ahead and clean, my drain plug up. I use PB Blaster. That's really good with getting off any grime or anything that might be stuck on there. Shouldn't be any in there, but that's just my thing. So when this get done draining, we'll move to the next step. Okay, the oil is still draining, but the other thing I was going to show you is the purpose of this piece of cardboard. Right here is your oil filter. Okay, now once you break that oil filter, what's going to happen, you do have an oil drip pan right up under it. If you see it right there, that's your oil drip with that little dip in it right there, kind of brings the oil out more uniform. But one thing I found out with Kawasaki, I don't know about Suzuki or Yamaha or Honda, but it still goes everywhere. So you kind of want to have some type of protection. I mean, if any oil gets on, the engine or anything, I usually just use it as wax and just wax it right on off. But this the cardboard, I usually stick it in like right here, like right up under there. You're not going to prevent it 100%, but you will prevent probably about, I don't know, 30-40% of the oil draining. That's why it's very important to try to get much of this out as you can, because that filter is still going to have oil in it. So once you do that, you're going to take your filter wrench. You're going to pop it right on there just like that, and take your filter out. So I'll get back with you on that. Okay, now when I get ready to break the filter, one important thing, if you notice, my drain pan was sitting like this. That's because of the position of the drain plug. When you first let the oil out, it spews out that way. Alright, so now we know it's not going to spew out a whole lot. It's just going to drip. So what you do, I just slide the pan over to about right there, and that's kind of even with the filter. That way you're not getting oil everywhere. The oil that does drop down. So let's go ahead and break that filter. See, it's dripping now, so it's pretty much drained. Alright, let's go ahead and put the cardboard on and break the filter. Okay, now we got the oil filter loosened. Just kindly just ease it on out. Kinda try to tilt it upward. Trying to do this and work the camera. As you can see where the cardboard plays. its roll. Yeah, you kind of tilt it up a little bit. Okay, and now you have your filter off, and you see the little bit of a mess that it kind of makes. See if I can cut my there we go. See, it makes a little bit of a mess, but that's what the cardboard is for. And it drains a little bit more into the pan. Now what you want to do with your new oil filter, just set it here. Now a lot of people use like clean, this oil here is still clean. You know, you can still use a little bit of this oil on your finger and just kind of go around that seal. Hold on, I'm trying to do this and go around that seal just like that. Okay. Alright. And that filter is ready to go on. Now, I'll go ahead and throw it on. So we're gonna just screw it back up here and I'll get back with you. Okay, we got the filter back on. Now the only thing about this filter, a lot of people should know this. Don't ever tighten it harder than you know, hand tight. I usually get a hand tight and do probably 1/4 turn with the filter wrench. Okay, now we got the filter on, and you see this right here. I always clean that before you put the filter back on. That way you never excessive oil, if there was any left in there, would be gone. Okay, now the next step we're going to do is put a drain plug back in. All right, you see we are fully drained. So let's put the drain plug back in and I'll be back. Okay, now that we got our drain plug back in, it's secure, not dripping in the oil right now. Of course, there's no oil in the engine. I still leave the drain pan up under here because you still see a drip. See, like that every now and then. That's just that oil that, you know, we just can't control. We can't keep it from hitting the engine, so we'll just let that drip there for a while. Now while that's doing that, we're gonna go ahead and fill it back up with oil. All right, I usually use, let's see here, I always check around there. I usually use a funnel because the way it's kind of made is kind of crazy sideways, so I use a long nose funnel to pour my oil in. Right here is your glass, you know, so you can see how much oil. Those two dots right there represent how much oil you have in there. Now because I have my bike on 2 stands, it's pretty much sitting level. Now if you're just using the back stand, your bike is going to kind of sit slantways, so you know you will probably have to put the bike down and have somebody help you set it up while you put the oil in there. But it's best to just use 2 jack stands. That way it's sitting level. Alright, so let's get our funnel and let's start pouring our oil. Alright, we got our funnel in. Make sure your funnel's clean. You know, no spider webs or anything like that. Make sure it's free of debris. Alright, first we're going to use this half that I had left from my previous oil change on the bike. We're going to go ahead and pour that one in first. I don't think it's no type of expiration date or anything like that, so it's still good. We're going to go ahead and pour that one in. Okay. I went on ahead to open these. That way it'll be easier. I won't have to keep stopping the camera. Okay, while I'm pouring the oil, I'm gonna pause the video right here, and when I get done, I'll let you know how many quarts it actually took to go in here. Okay, I put 2.5 in here already. All right, now you see where the oil is sitting. Now we know that filter has to fill up. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna fill it to that line first, that top line, and then I'm gonna crank it up. And then once I crank it, the filter will quickly fill up, and whatever is left to go to that line, that's how you know you got the correct amount of oil in your bike. All right, so let me get to that. All right, as you can see, we are right on the line. Okay, so let's go ahead and crank it for like just a second. Okay, that should have been enough for the filter to fill up. And let's see where we at. See, we're back down to low again. All right, now we're gonna fill it back up to that line. Okay, now you can see we are dead on the line. Now once you crank it up, let me see, I don't know if you can see it that well. There we go. All right, it's dead on the line. Now once you crank it up, it should stay there. All right, so let's take the funnel out. Put your cap back on. Don't tighten it yet, just snug it up. All right, let's give her a crank. Okay, if you notice, the oil drop down when you crank it. It's just going through the engine. Now it should top itself right back out at that line. Just watch it. And you see, it's right there at it. It looks a little different from the camera angle, but let me see if I can get a better angle where you can see it's right there on the line. See, it's right there at it. So that's good. That's really good right there. All right. Now, what you want to do is also crank it and check for leaks. We know we got the proper amount of oil in there now, so we'll crank it, check for leaks. Okay. All right. And that's the oil change part of it. There's no leaks around the filter. There's no leaks at the drain plug. And any excessive oil, you can just take a drop cloth and just wipe it down. Don't forget to tighten this back up. Hand tight. You don't have to use any type of tool or anything. Just tighten it up. Check your oil one more time. And boom. Right on it. Okay. All right. Well, YouTube, I appreciate it. It took actually exactly 3 quarts of oil to actually change the oil on this 2009 Kawasaki ZX6R. All right, the next step is what I'm going to do is clean and lube the chain and the sprockets. I'm not going to actually record that, but it's pretty simple. You keep your drop cloths like that up under here, up under the body there. You spray it down with motorcycle degreaser. After you spray it down, you scrub it with your brush. The old toothbrush do just fine. Scrub up in there real good. Hit your sprockets and everything. Then you go over with the grease. And you're good. So thank you once again for watching my videos. I hope that this was some type of help to you on how to change. I'm going to try to add another video on how to wash your bike without actually spraying water on it. I don't like the idea of spraying water on my bike, but I'll show you an easier way to do that on another video. All right. Thank you, guys. Happy New Year to everybody. And this is Zigzag, and we are out.